stars have aligned. It is not raining. I have a chainsaw chain, and I'm finally gonna break this guy up. I think there's only 4 pieces here, and I've already started to cut there. So I'm gonna do this a little different than what I've done in the past. I'm going to do a cut a little deeper than what you see there on all the remaining cuts, and then I'm just gonna flip the log over and do it from up. Because when I went to go get my new chain and to get the old chain sharpened, I talked to the salesperson a bit, and they mentioned that hitting dirt is one of the worst things that you can do for chain sharpness. It'll just dull it quicker than almost anything else. And I've been hitting a lot of dirt. So that might explain why I have to go get this thing sharpened so much. So I'm gonna try to avoid that as much as possible.
This has been a very, very, very educational experience. You're looking back at when we took this tree down in December, it really wasn't done well, nor was it done particularly safely. I mean, it actually fell 180 degrees in the wrong direction from what we planned. And we just got super duper lucky. And I don't want to depend on luck all the time. I'm actually a really lucky guy. It's just, there's bound to be some time when I'm not going to be lucky. And I'd rather just be good at what I'm doing. So let's do that. Let's be good at what I'm doing. Let's be good at cutting down trees. I'm definitely gonna have a lot more practice coming up in the future.
We've got that little cluster of trees, that little cluster of trees. Behind it, there are a couple ones, including a dead tree. And all of this scrub is gonna go. All of these little scrub trees. And probably eventually the black walnuts are gonna go too. But for now, really just kind of focusing on this area. This is gonna be a pretty important area to the rest of our plans.
But also, holy moly, did you see how fast, I don't know if you could see it watching on video, if you can tell if you've watched the other videos, can you see how much faster the chainsaw is working on this wood? When I went to get my chain sharpened, I got a new chain, and I was asked, do you want one that is more aggressive? And I didn't really know how to answer that, ask what that meant. And it turns out indeed I did want a more aggressive chain. My old chain was only good for 2 of those large ash tree cuts, and I just did all 4 without really breaking a sweat. So awesome. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into the staging area for all the wood that has left to be split. So I'm going to roll those big rounds down here. I'm going to go down the hill, and I'm going to grab some of the black walnut limbs that were taken down by the power company. I'm just going to put it all in this area, and then over the next few weeks I'm just going to try a little bit at a time to keep chopping and stacking this wood. I'm going to get to the locust today. We've been burning the locust. It burns green, and it burns pretty well. And we've been using that in the fireplace, along with some of the ash twigs, which are also flammable. So we need some more of that. I'll get to that today, and we'll get to the rest over the next couple weeks, since I'm going to be here for a while. Today, I'm gonna go and sharpen it. I'll show you how I'm doing it. I've got this tool. This tool has guide rails, and it's the this is the actual sharpening part. This part will go around the edge of the chain. So it's set up, it's got on the handle, it's got where's your chainsaw positioned and which one do you need to be, which facet of the chain do you need to be sharpening, and then you just go ahead and do like maybe like 2 to 4 swipes in one direction with this file, and you've got a sharp chain.
All right, the way that we're set up for jobs this week on the cabin property, I've got this wood I got to get through. I'm just going to do a little bit every day. It's kind of the position I'm in with all of these projects. So I've got a number of projects open. We're going to be working on the creek bed behind me, trying to clear that out from, there's a lot of grass and stuff growing in there, and just trash, logs, like all sorts of stuff that shouldn't be there. It's probably slowing the water down a little bit, keeping it from flowing. And we've got a lot of firewood to get through. We've got these sticks that I've collected from all over, and all these rounds and stuff to chainsaw into the choppable pieces. So got lots to do. It's weird. It's not as super satisfying as just like picking a job for the day, finishing that sucker, and then moving on to the next thing. It's like a lot of open tabs, but it's kind of the way it's got to be. So I'm gonna get started on some of this wood.
Are the ones that I've been splitting up till now. These are like the thicker, like I had a big trunk that had two main branches, and the main branches were about this thick. What I've got left mostly are the main trunk rounds. And splitting this is a little difficult. I can't just whack it with my maul like I can with the other smaller rounds. So I'll show you what I got to do for this one. It's a little bit of a process, but it's really not that hard. You don't have to expend a whole lot of energy on this. It's just about 30 taps with a hammer onto an axe at the edge, and you're in. So let's check out what that looks like. I'm gonna take my axe, and I'm gonna set it right here on the side, perpendicular to the circles or the rings inside the wood. If I had a 4 or 6 pound hammer, I'd probably use that, but I got a sledgehammer. It seems to work just fine. And I'm just gonna tap it in. Now it's going to take about 30 taps with the sledgehammer to get this to split somehow. Probably split. I have to probably do this 2 or 3 times, but I'll take you through the whole thing. So now I'm just going to drag those over, split those. And I'll start seeing if I can, kind of depends, if I can split this just with the maul, each half, that's great. If not, I'll have to put it into 2 smaller pieces. So we'll see how it goes.
So that's pretty fun. Get the big rounds. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of wax. There's a lot of stuff I didn't show of me trying to get through these big rounds with knots through them. I spent a lot of time trying to kind of just beat my way through it, but it's going to take some time to get through. But it's been a fun week. Got a lot of other projects we've been working on around the land that we'll be showing you in future videos. So please give this video a like. It helps us grow. Subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.